Hey guys, it's Ryan live from Unbound. You guys have been a great day. So I just want to send you guys a reminder, if you guys can, please do consider supporting us on Patreon. We are at patreon.com/Unbound. You guys can do it for as little as $1, $5, $25 a month, or something custom, and it all goes directly to the team here in studio. Plus, you gain access to Patreon only posts on Patreon, exclusive early access, and also just access to a bunch of stuff that like no one else gets to see. It's really cool, and we like to share a lot of sneak peeks with everyone, like and little progress reports on the comics and so on and so forth before they're ever released to the public. Often actually weeks ahead of time before they're ever released to the public. So yeah, if you guys can support us on Patreon, please do. And also, I'm currently in the middle of uploading all of our comics and all the webcomic specials and all the fan art and all the concept artwork and so much more. I'm planning on uploading all of that on Patreon in the collections tab. So that's even more reason to come support us on Patreon if you guys can, because sorry, we have dogs in the background. That's even more reason to support us on Patreon because we're gonna make Patreon basically a one-stop shop. Basically, you guys can basically find everything that you could ever want on Patreon. It's gonna be like ridiculously easy, and we have so many comics that I actually have to separate the comics into seasons. Like for example, the first season with Aki and Shido is like 60 comics, and then after that it's Olivia Fairwater and William Wallace, and that's like I think 20 chapters. And then we go back to Aki and Shido again, which is about another 20 chapters. And then we get to like Administrator Aaron. I think that's also like 20 chapters. And then we get to the Mouth of Hell, which is like 40 or more chapters. So like yeah, it's like I'm gonna have there's so many comics in full resolution on Patreon that I'm gonna have to separate them by seasons. But thankfully, it's gonna be really easy to find and to see, and thankfully to access. I've already tested it; it's actually pretty dang easy. Uh, Even on the desktop, it's pretty dang easy. So that should be really cool. I haven't tested it yet for the cell phone usage. I'll have to make sure that works really well. But um, but yeah, it's looking really good so far. It's looking really good. I'm really happy with how it's actually looking so far. So if you guys can support us on Patreon, please do. I know this is like a long ad for Patreon, but like any help you guys can give us is immensely appreciated. If you're like a $5 and up patron, you guys will gain access to basically quite a bit of content on Patreon. But if you guys just want to support us for like $1 or below $5 or whatever it is you want to contribute, you'll still gain access to like early access on Patreon and just like a lot of sneak peeks on Patreon too. And also you'll also get credits. Like we'll make sure to give you like special shout outs every single time we release a new comic or animatic. So there's a lot of reasons to support us on Patreon, guys, like special shout outs, early access, exclusive artwork rewards and benefits, the fan art archive, the entire collection of web comics in full resolution, and like concept artwork and so much more. We have like a bunch of stuff in the webcomic specials. Like literally everything is going to be on the Patreon once I finish uploading everything within these next couple of weeks. So I'm going to be very busy. But today, and please do support us on Patreon again if you guys can. Makes a huge difference, and it's really it's so easy and it's so much cheaper than you think. It's so much cheaper than you could ever imagine. So if you guys can support us on Patreon, please do. It makes a huge difference. And I know the artists and I would super appreciate it. Other than that, though, today I'm going to be checking in on every single patron on Patreon, and just wanted to send you guys a special thank you. And I'll try to keep the messages really short because I don't want it to be too long. But yeah, to all of our patrons on Patreon, especially our longtime patrons, again, guys, thank you so much again, and thank you to our previous patrons too, who have stuck it out with us for like such a long time. I know who you guys are. I immensely appreciate it. If you guys ever want to come back and support us, like our doors are always open to you. You know how it is. But yeah, I'm gonna check in on every single patron today. That's gonna take some time, and I'm going to do some more research in regards to. Well, I'm gonna learn some more from the voiceover blueprint from Bill DeWeese. And if you guys want to get into like professional voiceover for like audiobooks, commercials, and narration and corporate work and a bunch of other stuff like e-learning, like all the stuff that like no one really talks about when it comes to like voice acting or voiceover, but will probably take up the majority of your actual professional work. Search up Bill DeWeese and his whole team, like Mike Hathcote, like Frank Gerard, these guys are amazing. Like these guys are like veterans at what they do. They've been doing this for a long time, and a lot of them have just immense experience. So if you guys ever want like a really cool voiceover program that's not that expensive, it's like $1,000 for like the entire program, right? For like I don't know several months or something. and more, because you get a lot of value from that package. And I feel like I'm selling two packages here. I'm selling my package and I'm selling Bill DeWeese's package. But Bill DeWeese's package is really good. I would recommend it if you guys really want to get into professional voiceover. I'm learning so much, and it has only been 1 month. Now I have already, like, I have a lot of information and a lot of stuff and a lot of training that I can use to make this process way easier and way faster. So that is also what I'm doing. But anyways, I'll see you guys later, and I hope you guys have a great day. Stay inspired. Make sure to support us on Patreon if you guys can.